And you're talking about a VA that only serves 20% of the veteran population, and they're the biggest healthcare, and they have millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they won't give me $4,000 over a year because I asked them for help. They deny me. So do you think I give a crap about the VA anymore? I think they suck. They basically said no.
Yeah, that seems
I know
extremely unfair.
next time I fall into one of those depression holes, and if anybody's ever had depression or anxiety or TBI or PTSD or anything, survivor's guilt and remorse and all the other stuff that I have wrapped up and stuff, and it goes in waves. And I hit one of them waves, and now I'm in a hole. And if I got nobody around checking me, nobody around, I'm all alone, just sitting here. And when I start getting in that hole, I can't climb out of the hole. Hole gets deeper. It gets worse. Now I'm in the darkness. Now I don't shower. And a week and a half goes by, and I'm in a real deep hole. It's real hard to get out of it. And all I have is somebody saying, well, just buck up and man up. You should wake up at 3 a.m. do 1,000 push-ups. You suck. You're the biggest pussy I ever met. You got that. And you got somebody and you're going, what? Dude, I don't. And I got everything coming down on me. I'm going, man, I just don't know what's wrong, man. I can't. I look at myself and I go, man, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with me, man. And all I asked the VA was, I know I'm in a spot. And I want somebody to help me with the tools. Somebody who's educated in some therapy and some other stuff. That when they start seeing me getting in a little bit of a hole, before I start digging deeper and I get worse, before I start stewing on it, they go, hey man, hey, try this out. Hey, here's some tools, man. Here's some yoga. Why don't you try this practice out? Why don't you do that? And I go, man, that's a really good idea. I want to try that. They don't just tell me I'm a freaking wimp and I got to man up or I got to do that or that. And the VA says, no, we don't believe you because you come in here and you look pretty happy. Because you're seeing me on the day I went to the VA. It's not the day after a week and a half with no shower and a big hole. You're not going to ever see me when I'm in my hole. But when I got out of the hole and I said, hey, look, I've been in a hole like this year. It happened 5 times this year. And I see a pattern. I see some stuff going on.
How long does it last for?
Shoot, one time it was like a month and a half.
Oh my God.
And so I finally get out of the hole and I'm talking to the VA and I get out of the hole by myself. Because I start reading something or I see something on social media. Because I'm on social media. I'm on my Instagram. I'm on my Instagram and somebody on Instagram says something. They go, hey, I've been there, and this is what. And they tell me just enough in one sentence on my Instagram. And I see it pops up. And so I say, hey, I just followed you back because you follow me. And I PM'd you. What are you talking about? So personal message. So now we're talking behind the scenes now. And I go, what do you mean by that? And I'm in a hole, man. I'm deep.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, what I mean by that is this and that. And they gave me some really good advice as someone who's been there. And I go, holy cow, that's a really good idea. Now I'm out of the hole a little bit. And I said, what about this and this? Now I'm out a little bit. And so I got out of the hole because I had a whole bunch of my followers who are on Instagram, who are on Twitter, who are some Facebook followers, but mostly Instagram really helps because I can see stuff and I see their pictures. I see where they're at. And a picture is 1,000 words. So I see them all happy and I go and I said, man, you look really happy, but your hair, like mine, I'm all like, I'm kind of ratty. I don't really look that good. And you're like thinking about this, you're thinking about that. And I look at the picture and I see what they wrote and I go, damn, that's kind of like me. Because a picture says a lot. What they say says a lot. So Instagram was really good for me.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the same Instagram, I had a guy who was a Navy SEAL who I served with who started totally giving me crap. And it made my whole worse. Totally I was like, man, why would they say that? They knew who I am. They gave me a little secret, little snippet that I know he was in my platoon. I know what platoon he is. I know who he is. Because he gave me enough information that I'm able to figure out who it was. But they gave me a lot of crap I didn't deserve. And then he did even deeper. He started sticking the knife in even worse. And I was going, man, how do you know where I am in life?
Right.
How do you know what's going on in my life that now you stick that knife in as a friend? Dude, how do you know where I am with a shotgun in my mouth getting ready to pull the trigger? He could have been the one to pull the trigger through an Instagram post by giving me all that crap, by the hate, by the bigotry. You don't know where I'm in life. Why would you do that to somebody? Dude, just be nice, man. Give a hug, man. How about a hug mug?
It's blind hate.
You don't have to
It's
ridicule
self-hate.
somebody. You don't know where
Yeah.
they are. So Instagram is good because I see pictures, I see stuff going on, and I see that. And you know what? That guy, the Navy SEAL, who I know who it was, has a hidden name, has hidden pictures. You'll never figure out who he is by name, by picture. He's anonymous. So he's an anonymous little wimpy dude hiding behind a keyboard, giving shit to somebody.
Keyboard warrior.
The most weak mind, weak person, the weakest person on earth is that person. Because he has no strength or integrity or honor.
No.
You're going to do that to somebody behind a hidden board by a keyboard warrior? You're going to try to make somebody kill themselves because you're so weak? The weakest person I've ever met is that person. Well, notice in a category of very, very weak. Weak mind, weak intellectual, weak spiritual, because you don't even have a spiritual awakening where you can see this or see that or understand humanity is diverse. We have a lot of stuff going on. Come on, man. How weak are you?
Yeah, I've come to realize that the people that leave those toxic, hateful comments on social media, it's coming from a place of self-hate. They have the lives they're living. They're so unhappy, and they're just projecting that and trying to make themselves feel better. It's like it's toxic, and it's a cesspool.
If you're in that hole and you're in a deep hole, you want to do anything to try to get out of that hole, and that's alternative therapies. So that's my nonprofit. It's called Mindful Valor. Because valor isn't thumb chesting. Valor isn't how many push-ups or how tough you are or the UFC cage. Isn't valor. Mindful valor is about mindfulness. Mindful valor is about intellectual integrity and honor and strength. Mindful valor is about spiritual strength. Mindfulvalor.org is my nonprofit.
Okay.
So I get money to pursue alternative therapies, to try to find alternative therapy in any way. Dude, if you live in Washington State and marijuana is legal, and if you smoke a joint and you're good and you're able to cope or do whatever you got to do, then you can pursue other things. Man, that's good therapy. If you live in New York like I do and you start doing yoga and it's something you can do and it works for you, man, that's therapy. It works for you, then get out of that hole. If you do, like, I have like a Buddha right there and I have aromatherapy stuff going on. I have my Himalayan salt black, which I heat up and I burn. And I have stuff. I have like 100 different alternative therapies that I've pursued.
Have you ever
Some
looked
of them are
into
legal in only some places, some of them are legal in other places. But the thing is like, who are we to judge the legality of a God-grown plant that might help out a lot of people? Then, man, you should be able to do that, man. The laws related in that. It's like, and this is April 2020. April 20? Man, come on. April 4th in 2020? Man, that's like the creator told me to go smoke some herb.
Yeah.
On this week. What was it, Monday of this week? Man, I think the whole world should have been stoned.
Well, the worst drugs for you.
The creator said April 4th, 2020, everyone should smoke it up. That was God-given right on a God-given day that said everybody get stoned.
Yeah.
But there's laws, man. Well, who are your laws, man? Are your laws of man or laws of the creator? Are they spiritual laws or are they man-made laws? And only apply to some, apply to others. And what's up with the law? What's up with a law that only applies to some people, not others? I don't like those kind of laws. If you have a law that applies to black and not white, if you have a law that applies to female, not male, if you have a law that applies to someone who has this or that or that or that, you're making up laws that apply to being gay or straight. That's not a law, man. That's a bigoted way to persecute one person over another. And those laws are illegal. Those laws are illegal by the laws of man and the laws of God, if they apply to one or not the other.
One of my favorite comedians' quotes is, "The worst drugs for you are the ones that aren't taxed." Have you ever experimented with anything like MDMA for PTSD?
Hug mug. I've experimented with hugging. You get a lot of energy.
Now, no, hugs are great. I love hugs.
When it comes to all that, I have not yet tried that. I'm trying to do more study into some of that before I would even do it myself. I don't know enough about it, but I do know other people have done it. I'm trying to get more information from them.
Okay. Yeah, so I've heard a lot about it. And I've heard a lot of really good things about it.
I've heard a lot of things. Yeah. I've also heard good things about shock therapy.
Really?
1940s and 50s when they stick the big things on there and they send like 400 volts through your brain. Well,
Yeah.
in the old days, they did it was kind of like a punishment. It was kind of like it was abuse. It was like criminal freaking torture.
Hmm.
But there's been some advances, some studies because we've learned so much that I know someone who did that the other day and had great results.
Shock therapy.
So shock therapy, man, the old fashioned like Frankenstein shock therapy.
Holy shit,
But
that
but
sounds
the
brutal.
the advances the advances it's not brutal at all. It's therapeutic. That's the thing is like
Hmm.
if things are done wrong, it can be very harmful. But if you do things, I mean, even waterboard it, man. I mean, you waterboard somebody, and it's like good. It's good for you. Like you only waterboard them the right way. You kind of no, just kidding. That's torture. Yeah, that's total torture. Sorry,
You had to do
but
that part of your training, right?
yeah, it hurts. It's painful. Don't ever get waterboarded. It's really painful. But the thing is like there's a lot of things that if you do it the wrong way, you can definitely harm people. And there's ways to do things that can be helpful, beneficial. We just
Mhm.
need to figure out through science and through experimentation and through to be able to do something and have a repeatable solution, a repeatable outcomes to the procedure that are beneficial. So
Mhm.
if it's beneficial to 90 people and 10 people it really hurts, we have to figure out what's going on and we have to fix it. We have to find out because you're harming 10 out of 100. It's not good. We have to
Tricky.
figure out with drugs. There's a lot of drugs that are out there on the market that are legal, but it also harms a pretty big part of the population if they're used incorrectly, or even if they're used correctly, but just for that person, it would have a chemical imbalance or chemical side effect that's extremely harmful.